Hi, I'm Shivam,
Hi, I'm Izzy,
and this is PhoenixChat.
where one of us can read.
Which one?
You
Find
find
out. Hi, and welcome back to PhoenixChat. Last episode we went through a real big boss fight, so now finally the PCs get to take just a little bit of a breather. So after Boondock, went to purgatory for a little bit, and the rest of you guys decided to fight Legion, Boondock is now back and alive and does not have the brand around their neck anymore.
Yay! Instead he has hideous scales all over him.
Yep, he's just covered in like chitinous weird skin. Which is cool. It's nice.
Okay. Sure.
But you guys all take a breather, realizing, oh fuck, we're all alive. But you all kind of realize, like, maybe we should just like head to the hospital at this point, just kind of like, get some healing and stuff like that. But before you went, I had everyone roll an int check just at the beginning of a session to realize something. If you want to say what you realized.
What did I realize? My int check is like -4 right now.
Well,
I'm stupid. Okay. So, was it Juliet who rolled high?
Yeah, Juliet has the int.
Oh my god, Juliet has the int. Izzy does not have the int. So, Legion fought with melee weapons instead of spellcasting. And for some reason, during this fight, she was worse at spellcasting, which is weird. We were like, wait, what? How did that work? But okay. We didn't really have time to sit around and like really think about it for too hard because we all kind of like went to the hospital. And at the hospital, everyone got healed up, but Boondock went with Toadbert and did some like experiments on like what was on his skin.
What the fuck happened?
And what the fuck happened, exactly. And then Essen talked to them about what the fuck happened. So Morgan, Juliet, and Hops were making fucking paper airplanes out of pamphlets because they were super fucking bored.
Yeah. But in the hospital, Mira basically kind of comes up to Boondock and was basically like, yeah, so just so you know, well, good things first. It's basically armor that allows Boondock to be resistant to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, which is really good because the party needs some more like tankiness. But the armor is now completely fused to Boondock as a chitinous skin, and Boondock can't wear any armor above it. In addition, Boondock is basically also classified as a fiend now. And he can speak Abyssal. And on top of everything, he's also vulnerable to radiant damage, which means he'll effectively take twice any amount of radiant damage. Which is, mildly concerning that Boondock's basically part demon now. But Boondock's basically just like, well, I mean, it's good armor though, right? And everyone's just like, I mean, yes, I guess. But Boondock was fine with it. So he goes back to talk to Essen about it as the other three are just building paper airplanes. Essen also kind of figures out, like, okay, we need to be very careful about getting, like, you and radiant damage. And on top of that, too, like, Legion kind of stole Essen's memories, and Essen apparently has some radiant spells that he used to know, so, like, that's not great for Boondock. But who knows? Maybe we defeated Legion for good.
Yeah, okay.
It was at this point, after everyone got healed up, that Morgan realized, oh fuck, there was the ball that was supposed to be tonight, and I have a date with Tansy.
Oops.
So, Morgan decides that he's about to just go, like, sprint off. You guys explain to Hops what a date is, and I believe Essen decides, like, after Hop says, like, oh, that's not fair, like, how come Morgan gets a date? I want a date, too. As Essen decides to do the pro gamer move of, like, oh, we can have, like, a family date. You, me, and Juliet can go out and do something fun. As Hops just, like, does a little yay. And Boondock tries to manage to just slip away and manages to actually roll a nat 20 for stealth, as he also technically should go see Sprout.
He's learned from the best.
Yes. So, first it was Morgan and Tansy, as Morgan runs over to Tansy's house. I believe that Juliet and Hops wanted to, like, sneak behind Morgan to try and, like,
we
help
put
him
on,
out
like,
on the
fake
date.
mustaches, and, like, they went into the bushes.
Yes. Essen did not, though.
No, he just stood next to the bushes while Hops and I were fucking, like,
Yes.
007.
Yep. So Morgan knocks on Tansy's door, and, like, Tansy just says, like, oh, hey, like, you wanna, like, come in and we can just hang out for a little bit? As Morgan just says, like, oh, awesome, and then turns to everyone else and says, hey, everyone, come inside Tansy's house. As Essen thankfully takes that and he's like, nope, we're gonna go do something else.
Lame.
Oh, man, but Morgan and Tansy head inside. They talk for a little bit. It's this nice, like, sweet little scene. They order some, like, Chinese takeout food as they decide to work together on building the schematics for a gun that Tansy was designing. That's a punch gun. But Morgan and Tansy basically just, like, Tansy just kind of talks to Morgan about, like, how humble he is, how, like, what a crazy ass thing that he did with, like, having to go back in time and having all that responsibility, like, on his shoulders, and doesn't he realize that, like, he's the big damn hero that's basically saved all of Soliana, as Morgan just tries to, like, shrug it off like the humble SOB he is. But the two of them build the punch gun, as they share, like, a nice little kiss to end the scene. As we cut over to Juliet and Essen deciding to have a nice little family outing with Hops, if you want to explain.
So, we're out here vibing. I think we went and got more mammoth burgers because we were hungry or something.
Yeah.
And we were trying to talk to Hops, like, because Hops said what's happening between Morgan and Tansy is called Twitter-pated, and we were like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, Grampy told me that. And I'm like, wait, you have a grandpa? Like, it never occurred to us that Hops had a family before this, and we were like, oh, hey, cool. And then we decided to, like, okay, look, Hops, after what happened with Legion, you can't tell secrets to the enemies, and, like, she needs to, like, keep things to herself, like our weaknesses, and then and she's like, oh, okay, I got it, I'm an adult, I understand. We're like, okay. But as this conversation is happening, Essen says, yeah, we need to keep the relationship between me and Juliet a secret. And Juliet turns him like, what the fuck? Excuse me? Like, especially after the whole bar escapade, like, oh, you want to go with Thomas the Elegant, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, wait, you're gonna start this shit now? Excuse me? And he's like, yeah, because Legion's gonna exploit our relationship and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, dude, she's exploiting fucking everything. It doesn't matter if we're dating or not. Like, we have Hops. She could exploit Hops. He's like, oh, yeah.
But you two then agree. That was a nice scene that ended off with, like, you two both agreeing, like, okay, so we're properly, like,
dating. Boyfriend
and girlfriend. Yeah, you can say it out loud and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, he probably pulled some Chad move.
Yeah, that kind of shit there. It was nice and sweet. As that was happening, Julie also then, I believe, asked a little bit about, like, Essen, as, Essen kind of said, like, well, I don't know if it's my place to say everything about, like, what happened to me way back when. But the Kieran basically kind of chimed in Essen's head and basically just kind of said, like, that the Kieran, he saw what happened in, like, the past and stuff like that. Essen was really, truly willing to just, like, lay down his life completely just for the sake of, like, these people that he cares about. And so the Kieran basically kind of apologizes, basically saying that he misjudged Essen on, like, first glance and stuff like that, and, like, he's not exactly certain, you know, the everything that happened, but, the Kieran is actually just, though, like, a little, like, sorry for what Essen had to go through in his past, as Essen lets the waterworks start for a little bit.
Big sad.
Yes, but officially, the Kieran is now truly and properly on Essen's side instead of being just kind of like a little bit against him. But then we cut over to Boondock and Sprout. So with Boondock and Sprout, Boondock basically showed up at Sprout's bar, and like as soon as Sprout saw Boondock, he just like almost tackled Boondock in a hug before realizing like, wait, you have scales, what's going on? Everything alright? As Boondock explains the entirety of like everything that happened to an absolutely fucking enraptured and bewildered Sprout. And like he also reveals that like when Boondock was in the afterlife or purgatory or whatever, he saw his father, he saw Bo. As Sprout just kind of like strokes his beard for a second before saying just like, wait, I think I knew a Bo like way back in the Satyr colony. You know, I used to live there like way back when. As Boondock just kind of fucking just like pupils of dilated, just like, what? Tell me everything. And Sprout tells him, like, yeah, and the story he knows is that Bo is pretty famous for this. There was someone who was, like, sick in the colony, and, like, no like, natural cures or anything like that were able to fix the sick person. But a very known cure-all is a unicorn horn. But it is forbidden to kill unicorns by, like, the spirits of the woods that guard the satyrs and basically govern them. So the satyrs are basically allowed to, like, you know, just have this, like, endless party, just, like, drinking and doing whatever they want to. But Bo decides that he wants to try and, like, skirt around that rule. And he figures that if I just rip the horn off the unicorn, then the unicorn's still alive, so technically that still works. So he wrestles it off the unicorn, and like he comes back to the satyr colony, and all of the satyrs are horrified that he's done this. And basically, like, no one else was willing to make that the cure out of that horn except for one druid, Ma, who helped heal the sick person, and they brought him back.
An absolute G.
Yep, but the forest spirits who protected the woods and provide for the satyrs, you know, they were kind of mad at that because, like, even though it technically wasn't breaking a rule, it was very much, like, you know, trying to, like, bend the rules, and it still, like, hurted the unicorn and everything like that.
Yeah.
So they effectively banished Bo. And so Bo and Ma decided to leave their life of partying with a handful of other satyrs to go and found Hope's Landing out in the middle of desert. And so Boondock's definitely, like, extremely, like, concerned about this because, like, wait, my dad was basically, like, a fugitive? Like, as Sprout was kind of like, I mean, well, sorta, but not really. And, like, Boondock just having a mild crisis. And also just kind of, like, Boondock realizes, like, wait, but also, like, yeah, he left, like, a lifestyle of just, like, partying and having, you know, no worries in the world to go out in the middle of the desert where it's basically a living hellscape. As Sprout just kind of is like, I mean, I guess, technically. Oh, man. But the two of them decided to talk for a little bit as Sprout calms Boondock down a little bit, and, the two of them just go for, like, a walk around the Bronze District before Sprout kind of turns to Boondock and says, like, hey, Boondock, you afraid of heights or anything like that? As Boondock says, like, no, I guess not. Why? As Sprout just kind of says, like, well, I can turn into a dragon. Do you want to take a ride on my back? As Boondock is immediately like, yes, that sounds amazing. So there's an adorable scene of, like, Boondock hopping up on Sprout's back as, like, the two of them go sailing above Soliana, just taking in the sights. Sprout's, like, trying to impress Boondock by, like, doing, like, loop-de-loops and spins and stuff like that, and eventually Boondock shouts out that, like, he can see Julia, Essen, and Hobbs down there, so can Sprout do, like, a flyby? And Sprout, of course, agrees, because Sprout's a himbo and he's trying to impress a handsome satyr, so he fucking flies down really close to the city as, the people in, like, the district are kind of, like, very spooked by seeing a dragon flying extremely low overhead. Especially Hops, who does not like flying things, and as soon as she sees, like, the shadow of, like, this huge flying creature, she immediately, like, scrambles for cover as Julia and Nessa need to go, like, calm her down.
Yeah, we were like, bro, what the fuck?
But eventually Sprout and Boondock land, and they just kinda, Boondock just says, like, oh, that was awesome. Like, you see, like, the looks on their faces as we, like, flew by, and Sprout just kinda says, like, oh, yeah, I mean, they were kind of a little bit spooked there, huh? As Sprout also realizes, like, I might get in trouble for this later, but then looks at Boondock and says, worth it. As Boondock decides to pull the Chad move and lift up Sprout, give him a quick smooch, then run off, tippy taps in the distance.
Tippy taps in the distance.
Oh, man.
When he's back in satyr form, by the way, he didn't just lift up a whole ass dragon and kiss it.
He lifts up a dragon to give him a smooch. Oh, God.
Did you imagine?
No. Oh, my God. But you guys then met back up as to where you were staying, and Juliet just kind of says, like, what the hell, Boondock? You scared the shit out of Hops.
Yeah. Uncool. And he goes and apologizes to Hops, and he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, whatever, it's fine. So, I think after that, we all met back up at the hotel thing that we're staying at. And we asked Essen, like, hey, so what's going on with you? Because we don't know shit about your backstory. And Essen was very, like, hush-hush about it. Like, he didn't want to say anything. And I mean, I understand why now a little bit, but, like, he didn't say much for us to, like, be comforted. We were like, okay, sure. Like, we get it, you don't want to talk about it, but, you know, eventually it'd be a good idea to tell us, because, you know, Legion's out to kill us, and, like, we don't know what she can use against us, especially after she, like, you know, knows Boondock, Juliet, and Essen now. So we're kind of fucked.
Oh, man.
But after that, we were talking about Holiday, so we decided to have a fucking Christmas episode to ease the pain of a TPK.
Oh, man. This is my one gift to you. It's a Christmas episode in July.
Gift is Christmas in July. So then we went to bed or something, and then the next day we decided to go to the mansion that the dragons were at, because they wanted to talk to us. Probably to, you know, thank us for saving their asses. Anyway, so when we get there, Valthana, the silver dragon, is giving Sprout the shittiest look, and he's, like, really sheepish, and we're like, what the hell is going on? But they thank us for saving the town and them, and they give us money and some coupons to buy some cool shit, and we're like, yes! Yeah. But then she starts scolding Sprout about how everybody is freaking out over dragons now after the whole Legion thing. And Boondock surprisingly, like, pipes up and says if they should be mad at anybody, it should be Boondock because it was his idea. And then Valthana starts to chew him out, calling him reckless and irresponsible, and Juliet in the background losing her fucking shit. Like, Boondock's in trouble for once, not me, get wrecked.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, no, you were so smarmy and smug about it, too. Like, shame on you, Boondock. Shame on you. The good people of Soliana deserve better. Because Juliet's the worst.
I know.
But you do eventually kind of, like, pipe up to help Boondock a little bit, as you kind of explain, like, well, I mean, wouldn't it be better if you kind of knew that you were all dragons and stuff like that, as they kind of explain, like, well, I mean, I don't know, it's still kind of dangerous and stuff like that. You know, we don't want people to, like, find out that big secret and stuff, and, you know, it's kind of the way, like, things have been done for a while. We don't want people to, like, freak out about this whole thing.
Yeah, but, like, she made the point, like, dude, I personally would feel more safe if dragons were fucking protecting me in the city instead of, like, you know, 3 random, you know, because Balthana is a drow, Sprout's a satyr, and then Philippa's a human or something.
Human, yeah.
Like, I would feel 10,000 times better knowing dragons were protecting me. And they're like, "Oh, you're right," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then we get all our gold and our voucher for a free magic item in a magic shop, and we're like, "Yeah!" So we go to the shop, and there is a chicken.
Yeah, so, I don't remember how this happened, but I think, like, when I said, like, magic item shop, you guys heard, like, cereal in somewhere. How did that happen?
We heard cereal?
Yeah, someone just, like, piped up and I said, like, oh, I just heard, like, cereal instead of, like, whatever you said. And so I decided to change my, like, fucking NPC, and so, like, when you guys got to the magic item shop, the fucking chicken from, like, the cornflakes box was the fucking person who was running the shop. And Juliet fucking just, like, as soon as she saw the chicken, just, like, was about to go feral as, like, Essence holding her back.
Well, because listen. Juliet is a fox. What do fox eat? Chicken.
That is considered murder, though.
Is it?
It is! But you guys got your coupons and you decided to get each other, get some, items for yourself as well as holiday gifts for everyone else. So, Juliet got a lantern if you want to explain this one, because this is really cute.
So, okay. So we decided to go with something called the Ghost Lantern, and this Ghost Lantern I kind of like reimagined into like a Chinese lantern, because going with who she is, and it was trapped in a cage, and she summons the Chicken Man. Excuse me, what is in here? And he's like, oh, I don't know, some weird shit. And I'm like, okay, well, why is it locked? He's like, because it's dangerous. I'm like, open. Give me.
Yeah, no, I think how literally explained it to me, just like I'm a little bit nervous about like the lantern and stuff like that, and Juliet's like, I want it, and then he just mentions like, I'd just be careful if I was you, I think it's haunted, and Juliet just like eyes fucking like woke eyes, just like, I have never wanted something so badly in my life.
Yes. Haunted things. So she gets the lantern, and out pops this little ghost cat. It's purple with little runes on it, which I have renamed Tundra. So basically, Tundra works like a mage hand. It can go and get things. Nobody else can see Tundra but me. So I'm just crazy. Well, you finally figured out my secret, is that like Juliet, you're all going to wake up one of these days and like Juliet's going to be in a fucking mental asylum just dreaming the entire campaign. Yes. Oh my god, could you fucking imagine?
How pissed would you be?
I would be so fucking angry. I would reach through the screen, Shivam. You will catch the tiny hands. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, Boondock got a belt of Dwarven kind.
Fine, okay, you could say it. I was gonna say no. Go ahead.
So, I got a belt of Dwarven kind, which allows Boondock to get a little bit beefier in Constitution, as well as some resistance to poison. And my favorite one is it gives you advantage in Charisma checks, but only when you interact with dwarves. And on top of that, if you can grow a beard, there's a 50% chance each day that you'll end up growing a beard.
50%.
Oh, man.
Has that happened yet? No.
Nah.
Unfortunately.
But we'll get to that.
I'm excited.
Do you want to explain Morgan's item? Sorry, I stole the belt from you.
Rude. Anyway, so Morgan got fucking wings. Bat wings. He looks over, sees this black cape that just so happens to be in the shape of bat wings, puts it on, and starts fucking flying around the shop. And we're like, yo, what the fuck? He's a madman.
Oh god. I think my favorite part is that like when Tansy was explaining the item, she just says like well, I'll just put the cloak on and then just say the command word and see what happens. And Morgan decided to say command word and see what happens to activate the wings. So every time Morgan activates the wings, he needs to say command and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Do you imagine anything else Morgan would say? Because I don't.
Honestly, no. Yeah, and then Essen got a crossbow, and the people explained to them that it basically does, it has extra damage against undead, as well as gives them disadvantage in all saving throws, as you guys do go against, like, a particular undead, you know, fairly often. It seems like a pretty good idea, pretty decent item there.
Me with my haunted cat.
What? Essen the only person thinking it. No. And then Hops Hops got some more trash. And she decided that she was just gonna give her coupon to other people. I think the specific trash she got was she got a briefcase, and basically what the briefcase does is that when you put any like papers or documents inside of them, it basically like translates them into jargon, so you need to make an intelligence roll in order to like understand what the documents now say. Oh man, which is cool. But I think then for this session that was pretty much everything in terms of just a nice, like, you know, calm, chill session. Alright, so with that, heading out into the outro then, special shout out to our patrons, Spicy Turntable, The Mod Goth, and Nyquil Dreamer. You guys help us make more and better content, and if any of you guys listening out there want to help support us, link is in the description to our Patreon. You can also check out the previews for our Keepers of Order animatic on it if you decide to check out the link in the description. Yeah, Izzy, you want to tell them about our Twitch?
Yeah, so every Tuesday at 2:30 CST, 3:30 EST, if you go to Twitch and look up Keeper of Kitsune, that is where we'll have our Illuna Nights campaign. Yeah, it's Mafia.
It's Mafia. Yes. Because we always had serious Mafia moments and not just like dumb gay himbos just all smooching each other.
No.
Oh man.
No. Anyway, so fun fact. So with Valthena and Philippa is more of the people person. She gives out the speeches and whatnot, and Valthena is more of the serious, like, number crunching type, like she knows when to protect the people, how to give out orders, that kind of thing. And Sprout is just kind of like their apprentice, trying to learn how to do both, to make sure that Soliana runs smoothly. PhoenixChat.